The risk-reward ratio just isn't favorable. He was saying that he was pretty much getting to a point where he's no longer working towards finding a long-term mate. Sometimes there's a problem or issue that feels so big for us that we do need help from others. I'll be honest though, I don't think I'm ever calm when I do it. The brain is a lazy organ. As it stands, AI would try and gas you up as much as possible. This became quite a bit of a shocking experience. Welcome back to Real People Real Talk. My name is Bobby, and if you're new here, welcome. This channel is dedicated to making life that little bit easier by talking about everyday scenarios, learning from those experiences and becoming just a little bit better every day. In this video, I want to share some of the conversations I've had with friends and family over the last week. We will touch on some relationship insights, crisis management, and also how AI is affecting us. I'm hoping that by sharing some of these interactions, we can learn something new and maybe implement some changes that will make it easier for us going forward. I had some great conversations and interactions last week, and I'm keen to share the things I've learned in the hope that it may be useful for you too. I had a great conversation with one of my friends the other day about relationships. He was saying that he was pretty much getting to a point where he's no longer working towards finding a long-term mate. One of the reasons for this is that he's busy with the things he wants to do and did not want to spend the time and effort to try and find someone that is compatible with him, his lifestyle, and his family. To me, this sounded a little sad. I think having someone there by your side through the ups and downs of life is a blessing, and it can certainly bring the best out of both parties. Plus, it's the first step towards building your own family, maybe having children, and taking on the privilege of raising them to be the best they can be. Of course, that is my thought process, my preference, because I followed that path, and it doesn't mean it's the right one for everyone. My worry, though, is that we may be deciding not to pursue this way of life due to how difficult it may seem to find someone these days. I've spoken in one of my previous videos about the struggles of dating these days. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll be able to find it in the description below. I do think there may be a little more at play here than just the difficulty of dating alone. There is the fear of rejection, the joy that solitude brings as we get older, and also the standards we pick up as we mature. The dislike for rejection is pretty self-explanatory. If we're already at a place where we've been single for a long time and pretty much optimized our lives that way, the idea of putting ourselves out there and potentially ending up in a situation of rejection won't seem very appealing. The risk-reward ratio just isn't favorable. Add to that the time and effort that would need to go into it when life is already busy, and most likely we will opt to carry on as we were. Solitude, on the other hand, is a little more interesting actually. I think that as we get older, we enjoy the time we have alone a little more. Do things the way we want to do them without having to consider other parties and their preferences. For instance, an ideal day may be going to work, then to the gym, cook and eat a steak, and then watch the sports highlights for the day. If we had a partner though, we would have to consider that actually on a specific day that person might need us and we wouldn't be able to go to the gym. They may not enjoy having a steak 3 times a week and also have their own preference on what should be watched on TV. You may feel that you will lose some of that joy. And in terms of standards, I think that as we get older being single, we begin to tolerate less from others, partly because we have been around for long enough to know that we would be fine without the company anyway. Here is where the conversation with my friend became a little bit more interesting. He said that he wouldn't want to be in a position where someone would need to tolerate him in any way, meaning he should just be completely accepted the way that he is. In my opinion, relationships are all about tolerating the things we're happy to tolerate. I think this plays a huge part in partner selection. I mean, if we were incredibly lucky, we may find a partner who fits every aspect of our lives, our preferences and our habits, but the truth is, that would be quite rare to find. Instead, it's a process of balance. There are certain things that just will not be compromised, maybe your values. If we are very family orientated and like seeing our parents every other week, but our partner just isn't that way inclined, then that may be a problem. Then there's things that will need to align, like lifestyle choices and future family plans to a certain extent. If we live a very active lifestyle and that partner isn't interested, that could cause some friction as well. Equally, if you want to have children, but our partner is adamant that they don't, this would also cause some issues. Then, of course, you've got your preferences and habits. Here is where I believe the tolerating comes in. Some of those may just be bad preferences and habits, and together with our partner, we may create better ones. But others are just who we are, and it comes down to whether or not it will tip the scale too far. Maybe our expectations have become too high, making it really hard for that scale to reach equilibrium. It could be because dating apps have allowed us to have access to a huge amount of options. It could also be that as we have aged, we just added more and more to our expectation list due to being okay with not ending up with anyone if that's what needs to happen. I'm not saying we should lessen our standards or compromise on our values or lifestyle choices, but I think we should have some faith in the fact that being in love aligns people. I look at my relationship and later marriage with my wife. We are definitely not the same people we were when we first met. Over the years, different choices, preferences, and habits have evolved. They have aligned, they have become optimized. We took what we both had individually and, in our opinion, made it better for the both of us, and now have the privilege to pass it on to our children. They will probably grow up and change it all again, but at least we know there was a solid foundation there. And yes, we do still tolerate some annoying things for each other, but those are the ones we accepted as the ones to tolerate. I won't mention any here just in case she's listening. I also had a call from another friend the other day. He wanted to let me know that he went through a bit of a crisis when he accompanied his daughter to her swimming lessons. Swimming went as planned, and they were supposed to cycle home together. This became quite a bit of a shocking experience. Somehow, he lost control of the bike with his daughter on the back. The bike flipped over the handlebars, which resulted in his daughter falling first, him falling on top, and then the bike landing on both of them. Luckily, he instinctively put his hands out to soften and guide the fall, making sure no one got seriously hurt. But the incident did come with its bumps, scrapes, and bruises. We also had a situation in our home where our daughter slipped and hit the side of her head on the radiator. Both of these incidents really made me think that for a parent, their children hurting themselves is a major crisis. It made me think about crisis management. In any crisis, we tend to try and figure out what the problem or damage is quickly, think about what needs to be done to fix it, and consider what is needed for the people involved. That thought process seems pretty straightforward, yet there is varying levels of efficacy in all of our crisis management, and I think this comes down to how we process it. Some people feel that it's important in these scenarios to just stay really calm. Possibly because by having that demeanor, we believe that it helps to calm down everyone else. From what I've seen and heard about, in a crisis, it doesn't really matter how calm we come across. The people that are in the crisis with us aren't just going to mimic us based on our level of calm. No, it needs something else to go with it. We need calm and taking action, leading the charge and creating confidence in everyone that the crisis is now being managed. This one is tough, depending on what the crisis is. If it really affects us, we may struggle with calm and taking action. In the hurt child example, for instance, so many things go through your head. Has she really hurt herself? Maybe broken bones? Is there any blood? If so, where is it coming from? As you go through the stages you may get to, why did this even happen? Or who is to blame here? The point is, it's a lot. Whatever may go wrong, we will have different levels of impact on how we feel about the situation. Some people may just panic. The knowledge of the crisis just makes them think specifics along the lines of this shouldn't have happened, now what? This could be a panic and freeze, meaning we let those feelings take over and just can't bring ourselves to take any action. Or it could be a panic and do a lot. And here, doing a lot could be wanting to take control of the situation, but by doing so in a slightly more frantic manner. This would mean that some action is taken, but it doesn't do much for the other people involved, It also sometimes skips the steps of identifying the problem or damage. The panic may just put us into go mode without establishing the particulars. Then there's some other people who just shut down. The ones that see the crisis but prefer to stay out of it and hope that it gets sorted or goes away. Nothing wrong with this approach either. Again, it comes back down to how we process it. Sometimes there's a problem or issue that feels so big for us that we do need help from others. Of course, this means that action isn't being taken by us, nor are we establishing what the real damage or problem is, but consideration has certainly been given to others in that crisis. Because as that person who decided to stay out of it, I have accepted that I'm not the best person to help, and that it will be much better for everyone involved for me to take that path. Truth is, there is no right or wrong way to manage a crisis. Everyone's different, and if you based your judgment on what the best way is on the last crisis you managed, then most likely you performed admirably, because you're still here. Throughout my life, I have fallen to all three of the above categories. Depending on what the crisis was, I have panicked and done too much, causing upset for others around me. I have tried to stay calm instead, resulting in the actions I would have or should have taken not being taken. And in some cases, I have also shut down and let the crisis take its course. After learning from each experience, I've ended up in a hybrid crisis management mode. The way I manage a crisis now, whether it's at home or work, is by first deciding what is required of me, and I base that decision on what the problem or damage is, the action needed to fix it, and what people around me will need. If those three things are already being taken care of by someone or something else, then I can sit back and let it go. However, if I'm required, then I'm happy to lead the charge and take action. I'll be honest though, I don't think I'm ever calm when I do it. I wouldn't say I panic. It's more of a purposeful, mission-driven demeanor. And I think that is what gives people confidence rather than a potentially forced calm. Crisis management is interesting. What we consider a crisis may not be a crisis for someone else. Does that mean that that person may be better equipped to deal with it? Or would we question whether they understand the responsibility of dealing with it? Food for thought. Let me know what you think. Always happy to read your comments. Last week, I also had multiple conversations with my friends about AI. There is no doubt that AI has been incredibly helpful in allowing us to do the things that we may have not been able to do before. There is no doubt that AI has created opportunities that we may not have had before. I can't help but think that the people that actually use AI the most are the ones that weren't able to do the thing in the first place. In those scenarios, it feels great. I wasn't able to make a spreadsheet, now I can ask AI to. I haven't been able to make a presentation, now I can ask AI to. That's fine. What I think needs attention is where we ask AI to write our letter or email for us when we've been doing this for the last 10 years at an acceptable standard. The times we ask AI to make the spreadsheet instead of us because we are looking to save time. These actions feel like saving time is more important than us exercising the muscle that allows us to continue performing the action or skill that we have. Well, the brain is a lazy organ. It always looks for the easiest way to get things done. If we decide to use AI rather than use our skills, I'm pretty damn certain that we will lose that skill. Anyway, the conversations really made me think about AI usage and how it affects us. It made me think about how we really should use AI. In my opinion, we should not ask for it to do things for us, but instead, within reason, teach us how to do it. Take the spreadsheet example or the PowerPoint one. We could ask to be shown and told how to do it, and we get to learn, become better, grow as individuals, rather than take a step back and let it be done. I also think about the fact that many people run ideas past their favorite AI without realizing that the model is designed to respond in a way that encourages continued conversation. I've told many of my friends to instruct their favorite large language model to become their most critical investor, the one source that will be real, regardless of how it might make them feel. By doing so, we go from the AI saying the things we want to hear to the things we need to hear. An example of this may be the fact that we were We would tell AI that we want to start a t-shirt printing business. And as standard, the AI will say that's a great idea. If you get the designs right, many people will buy from you because t-shirts are still something that everyone is interested in buying. But if the AI was being more real, it would say that most new businesses will die in the first year. If you want to do this, you have to be really serious about the business and think long and hard about your designs, marketing, and pricing. As it stands, AI will try and gas you up as much as possible because that ensures continuous usage. In order to use it as a tool for personal growth, some amendments will have to be made. There is also a consideration in my mind for those that ask AI certain things. Take the response and think that it's the cold hard truth. We need to remember that the knowledge of our favorite AI has been based off the internet, so whatever answers we get need to be fact checked. In order to do that, we should hit the follow-up prompts asking for sources. The beauty of AI is that you can go back and forth, and we should. This isn't like a straight up search query anymore. We can actually continue to prompt to get to where we want to be. I think AI comes with a huge amount of benefits, as well as some challenges. I really want everyone to utilize the tools that are available to them, but I also think it's incredibly important for us to maintain our cognitive ability. If you're good at writing, just keep writing, my friend. If you don't know how to be a gardener, ask AI to teach you to become a better one. Utilize it as a one-on-one teacher. God knows it can do that. There is much more to come. The AI race has not finished. Multiple companies are still working hard to get to artificial general intelligence. Whilst that is going on, let's preserve our brain function. If we're good at something, let's ask AI to help us be better, rather than ask AI to do it for us to save time. All of these advancements aim to save time and for us to do less. But friction is good. Hard work is good. Let's use AI to make the hard work a tiny bit less hard instead. Personal growth all the way. There you have it, my friends. Another week of updates. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please let me know by liking it. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. Not only is it free, it is actually the #1 way to support this channel, and it shows me that I'm on the right track with the content I'm bringing to you. If you've made it to the end of this video, you must have enjoyed it. Here is another video that YouTube believes you may like. Go ahead, give it a go. And while you're clicking away, give this icon a click here. It will make it really easy for you to subscribe. My name is Bobby, and this is Real People Real Talk. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.